Well, today on the show, I'm super excited about our guest. We have comedian, storyteller Jim Breuer. He is currently on tour Survival with Laughter with Joe Sib, which is really funny. You guys are the best. And
Thank you.
very excited because in August on the 16th, my birthday, you'll be here in Denver at the Paramount Theater. So I'm there. I turned 50 and I got my tickets and I'm excited to come see you live for the very first time. 2009, Let's Clear the Air. You've done great things, obviously, everything, but that was one of my favorite concert videos, the last of the concert videos, I feel like. Thanks for hanging out, man. I appreciate your time.
Oh, you're welcome, man. Yeah, I guess you've been around a while. It's good to
Y-
see you. So yeah,
Yeah.
what's on your mind today and out there in Denver, Colorado?
Well, I'm excited to chat with you. I've been a fan for a long time. It's interesting because I've watched the progression of your career and how your comedy has changed and evolved. And one of the things I love is that, you're not afraid to say what I think other people are thinking. So I appreciate that about your stand up. And it's,
Well, I thank you. I think we're really in a time where all of us are figuring out we're tired of just fibs and sales pitches and you know everything on television is a sales pitch. And I think humanity in general, we just want some truth.
yeah,
Just on, and sometimes if the truth hurts, well, so be it. Wouldn't you rather? And I'm willing to take the risk. Like if we don't know each other and like, hey man, I gotta tell you about something. Now I may say something to you and it's truth, and I'm just putting out there because I'm trying to show you, hey, this may be able to help. I'm not saying it's right, it's not wrong. I'm just saying you may not get it right away, but in my heart of hearts, down the road, you may go, you know what? I didn't really think of it that way, and yeah, maybe that person. I couldn't believe I was so. We're just stuck on this whole thing of we need to be right or wrong. Why don't
yeah.
we just be truthful and honest? And if we're wrong, and we're humble about it. I have no problem, dude. I've been around too long. I have no problem going, oh, yeah, no, I was way off on that. I was way off on that. And I think if we could do that, you would trust more people. But I've reached a stage where in the past, I wanted to be funny for specific reasons. This one is also specific, or was. And this is because it really came from my heart. I felt like my family, my friends, and everyone I know and don't know were under a major attack.
Yeah.
And what the hardest part was when you, how I feel, when you can see it and others can't see it, even though it's right in front of your face. That was those are moments in your life where you decide, okay, this is just the way it is. And we all do that our whole lives. It's just the way. If that's what the news says, that's what we got to send boys and girls to go murder and get killed in Ukraine. Where's Ukraine? If that's what they say, so be it. I mean, that's the way it is. Hey, if they want to stick more needles in you because there's a new flu, well, that's what it is. I mean, that's what it is. Or you finally, your morality, your dignity, finally goes, are you really willing to just I feel better explaining truth, and I think more and more people are going to start doing it. I remember Joe Rogan was an extremely inspirational part of that. Not
Hmm.
not for I shouldn't say it's um more the recent more the recent stuff, not so much what I say, but I used to do a radio show many years ago, and it was on satellite radio, and Joe would come on, and I literally would go, don't just be quiet when he's talking, because when he talk, let him go. And I'm telling you, man, it was like, I know this sounds crazy. I remember seeing Metallica in 1986 opening for Ozzy Osbourne, going, I we just saw a major shift in the rock universe. This is, I've never seen anything like this. When Joe Rogan said this on the radio, and basically summed up, we're going into the new age of life, and this is
Hmm.
like early 2000s, like 2005, 6, 7 that he's saying this, and he's going, we're hitting an age in life where you're either truth or you're lying.
Yeah.
It's either like people come to your lives because they want to leech, or they want to lie, or they want to take, or it's just truth and honest. And it's so I enjoy trying to find the funny in that. There's a lot of funny in that.
There is. And I think, as being a fan of comedy and just interviewing fantastic comics like yourself and really just getting the gamut, I think, you know, because there's this whole thing of cancel culture, which I don't really subscribe to personally,
It's
because
it's to be honest with you, it's well manufactured.
it is, yeah.
It's a manufactured product. Don't let anyone kid anyone.
Yeah,
So when
no,
it
for
shows
sure.
up, it's a manufactured product. It was already promoted. Here's how we're gonna sell this movement. Let's do it. That was well planned, strategically planned, and executed for certain things. Trust me. Now, sometimes truth hurts, but
Right.
that's another thing I didn't get caught up in, because I know it's manufactured. There's no substance to it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. And again, listening to all of this, and you said something interesting about, when you started, you wanted to be funny for specific reasons. And now, as you have matured as a comedian and just an artist in general, you've obviously lived life, raised kids, done all this stuff. And now
Yes.
been through all this crazy stuff in the last few years, and now you're just being honest and truthful, and but yet you're finding the humor in it, and it's great. So was there like a specific moment for you, Jim, where it shifted in your head, or you were just kind of like, okay, enough is enough of this part, I've found my voice as a comic, and now I'm gonna just go for it this way, and it's obviously worked out for you very well. If that It's kind of a broad question, but I'm interested to know
No,
where the
I know. I
shift
got
was.
it. Was COVID, and I've always had very deep, deep, deep beliefs and of thoughts of everything that exists in our lives.
Sure.
What we want, all of it, and but what COVID did was, it made me realize, hey, first of all, none of us are in control of our lives.
Mhm.
None of us. And that's not like a religious thing. That's a fact. We don't know if we're going to hear from our loved ones by the time this conversation's over. That's a
Right.
fact. So, and when those moments happen in your life, they really put things in perspective. Meaning, like, if you lose your father, your mother, someone you dearly love, it makes life go, hey, guess what?
Yeah.
That little project you're working on really doesn't mean much, does it? Hey,
Hmm.
that little thing you were planning to do, just really, is it really that big in your life? What you're doing at the big ball game tonight? And death brings things in perspective. And I already knew we're not in control. But when, and I hate saying the word government because government's a nice word for criminals.
Yeah.
When the criminals that are able to send your children to war with when you have no say in it. And if you think about how lunacy that is, if someone knocked on your door and said, "Hey man, you got kids in the house?" "Yeah." "Well, because you live in the neighborhood, we need 3 of your kids to go and go around the corner and get involved in that fight." Well, I don't even know what you're fighting about. "You love our neighborhood, right?" "Yeah." "Well, they come back? They might be dead and half beaten." Think of the lunacy when I tell you, would you do that, child? But when I saw what was going down, I realized not only do we not have control of lives, but now this major movement is trying and making their move to really control your life.
Yeah. Very
And
nonsensical.
that was the move where I felt, to be dead honest with you, dude, I had a God moment. I've had many God moments, but God was like, "Hey man, we need you to bring some love and peace the way you can." And I started making these little Instagram videos. Some of my family thought I lost my marbles, and they still think I lost my marbles, and that's okay. I'm totally fine with that. Maybe I
Yeah.
did lose my marbles. I don't know. Maybe I lost. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'd rather lose them the way I'm projecting it than some of the ways that I see that are being glorified.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
that was a time in my life where I was saying things off the cuff. I would ask what to come out of my mouth. It came out, and people coming up to go, "Hey man, you really, I tell you what, you're keeping me sane." And oh my God, I didn't even know who you were. And I started watching these videos. But the real thing that kicked in um, was when I made a comedy special and they started pushing the Vax card
Yeah,
at
I remember
at my
that.
at my shows. Some fans were like, "Hey man, I bought tickets. I would have never bought tickets if I knew this was going on." I went, "I didn't know that was going on." And I also made a comedy special called "Somebody Had to Say It," and I had a platform, a big platform. They were excited; they're fans. And after I made that video, "Hey man, I'm not playing places with the Vax," and the whole video I did, I said a lot of things there, and I didn't say it angry. I said, "Hey man, I don't know these people. I don't trust a television and someone's got a nice coat, and I'm not trusting this anymore. I'm going with." I sit there saying, I'm not buying this." And the people called and said, "Hey, we can't air your special. We're going to
Wow.
lose a lot." Their exact words were, "I agree with what you're saying, quote, but we're going to lose a lot of money," end quote. And that's when I realized money is the root to all evil. And money is the great deceiver. And I realized the system that we're living in is willing to stomp out your morals, stomp out your instinct, stomp out what you believe in for money.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not about health. It's about money. It's not because they care about you. It's because they want more money. And that was a moment where I was like, I'm going full steam ahead with this. But how do you find the funny? That was the
That was the challenge.
that's the challenge. Because at first I'm angry and I just can't believe that there's people doing this. they're scaring people to death, and how they're scaring you, and how they're manipulating you, and how they're getting you to fight, and how they're getting you to turn on one another and argue with one another. It's demonic. And so then after I go to that stage, I go, okay, how do I get it, make it funny that enough people see it and go, hey, you know what? I never saw it like that, but you're right. That
Yeah.
was really funny, and I got something out of that. Thank you. And and for anyone else doesn't, I'm not worried about it. I'm happy when that one person goes, tell you what, I was in a cloud. I saw that. Wow. I've been awake ever since. Then mission accomplished. And they laughed their ass off is number one. If they
Yeah, no,
laugh,
I
that's
I
number
did
one.
for sure. I just remember even like most recently your bit that you did about the eclipse and don't look at the sun. And it's just funny because I'm turning 50 this year. We're I think fairly in the same world of age, but I remember like those years when I have a 9-year-old, 10-year-old son soon who's on his way over here now. And he comes to me and he's like, I don't think they really pushed it in his school. They're just like, whatever, you're smart enough to understand to not look directly at it. You don't need to be told the bit about the pinhole in the box. And you're just there. I don't know. I want to talk about your writing style
Sure.
but I don't know if you write on stage or if you do ideas or you work out the bits prior, but it was funny. And again, that's the mystery of stand up is you work on things for so long and then we watch it and it looks effortless, but really there's a lot of tinkering, a lot of things. But my point is like just that bit specifically, and in reference to all the COVID stuff, it's just funny when you hear it and go, you know, when you hear it out loud, you're like, this is the most lunatic thing that you could ever
Because that's how I
possibly.
see it.
Right. And then you have now recently a lot of these people coming out and saying, we should have never done this. This was a mistake. I was in the Bay Area at the time in Northern California, and our area was the worst. Our county was always on lockdown while everybody else is out running around. But I digress about that. So, yeah, it's just funny when you say it, you particularly, because I go to myself, okay, this is really ridiculous. And there's so much just, yeah, it's funny. I
Well,
was rolling constantly. I kept watching that clip on whatever TikTok, Instagram, because it's like, yeah, I've been here and been through this. We're not dumb. We know not to look at the sun or whatever, the case might be.
well, to me, so many things are so obvious. It's
Yeah.
so I'm at the point where I'm going, come on, man. They're blatantly making a fun of you. They're blatantly testing to what means you will give them your energy, your emotions, your physical being. It's really when you understand it's all about controlling your energy,
Yeah.
your reactions, your emotions, your conscious. It gets a lot easier to understand what the whole game is, and then it becomes very comical. It just becomes it's comical, but at the same time, it's uh, it's pretty intense too. But yeah, so I don't write. What I do is like I'll write down an idea, but I visualize things. I see them.
Yeah.
So that what the guy that on stage is the same street corner guy. If we're gonna have a couple, if we're gonna hang out with my buddies, that's the guy. I managed to take the kid on the street when I'm hanging out with my favorite people and spoofing and improving. I managed to get him on the stage. I'm not a very good. I don't consider myself a good writer. I will. I will visualize and trust that I will find the rest on stage.
Yeah.
So even the bit you're referring to, I only did it once, and it was that clip that went out. And it was that day or that night or what, it was like 2 days before or something like that. And what I do is I try to reminisce. In school, I remember having, oh my God, and they told us you got to do this thing and stand like that, but don't look at the sun. I'm like, all right, so this has been going on. It's been going on forever. And every single time it happens now, it starts becoming like the Super Bowl Tuesday when the eclipse. And people online were going, this is biblical because Saturn's over here and Neptune's there and Jesus. Like, what are you? Oh my God! This is a ploy by the Democrat. Why are they calling the National Guard in? What? Oh my God! This is why we. I was waiting for the new beer line. Just only this month can you buy Eclipse beer by Coors. Everything becomes this big, crazy project, an entertainment thing, where now I'm realizing it's all just, it's nonstop. Oh, look at the big yellow. Oh, wow, look at the lights. Oh, boy, squirrel. How many people do this right now? Hey, man, what happened to Maui?
Yeah.
Were there like kids missing? Like, what, what was the deal there? That thing is, and that's the power of entertainment in the tube.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. So you've been at this for how many years have you been doing stand up now? I mean, outside of your SNL tenure, the 3 years that you were on.
35 steady.
Wow.
35 steady.
Wow.
1989, July 1989.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Clearwater, Florida.
Yeah. That's unbelievable how long you've been doing it. So obviously it's changed since you started. Things are
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Um, and now you're touring. The other thing that I love is the fun that you have with your opener and losing his glasses and that whole saga. I think that all adds to the idea and the persona of you and just the comedy all around. I love it. It's just the
I'm glad you
best.
like it. I'm glad you like it. Well, there's this a whole other offstage thing that I realized we have to start filming this because you can't even make this up. It's like watching the comedy Odd Couple on the road. It really, I'm always I drive my own car. I drive to the gigs. It trips people out. Um, he's always he's Joe is very meticulous. Like he's number guy, and he's like, okay, this bomb is done. We got 805. You're gonna take, but glasses, wallet, oh shoot, my phone. Oh, we gotta get this is this
It's
is
the best.
this is every single night, and I just wait for it. I don't know if I released it the other night too, where twice we get up to the hotel room. He don't have his key. He can't find his key. Do you have my room key? Why would I have your room key? What room was I in? Oh my God, Joe. He really is. He's he is funny. So like, yeah, I got to start capturing this on film. And now people are coming up to him going, hey, you know what? I got these readers. You would like them. It's really funny. It's a fun dynamic. And I like people being able to see all of it. I know when I follow a band or something, I want to see them when they're just walking into a breakfast place or like, what do these guys do? What kind of breakfast these guys eat? What do these guys talk about? What goes on behind the scenes? So yeah, and there'll be more of that stuff. I'm glad you like it.
I love it. Well, again, I'm excited to meet you here in August or see you live. I think
Yes.
it's going to be awesome. You've got a lot of other greats too. Of course, you have your podcast, which is the best, and your
Thank
YouTube
you.
channel. Yeah, it's all fantastic. I just think it's all
Thank you.
great and allows us to kind of come into your world and get to know you. And it's fantastic. So I appreciate
Thanks,
all of
brother.
the access that you give the fans. It's really super cool.
Well, we're all connected, brother. And the sooner we all understand that, the sooner we'll understand how we could all help each other and get rid of the monsters. Thanks for having me on today. Have a good one. See you soon.
Yeah, Jim, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Later.
Later.